Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Alston, and it is once again my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am so excited to be here again with another amazing speaker and professional because in 2018, this is definitely the platform to be on. So would love, and really thankful for everybody who is on this platform to support this cause to share their industry. Just in case you didn't know, the purpose of the BMWOC is to not only share our industry information, but we are also encouraging working professionals and new career seekers to enter their line of work. So be sure to visit all of the pages. We have 75 participants this year. So listen to all the podcasts and vote for your favorite for those BMWOC awards that's coming out later this summer. So take lots of notes, reach out, network, and take advantage of this opportunity to reach out to the BMWOC community. One of the other things I would like to do is to thank our corporate partners and sponsors, which are Kat Serrano, LLC, Cheryl Wood Empowers, Concern and Learning, Evangelism Radio, Genesis Preferred Solutions, J Coach International, Nails Tax Help, My Financial Home, Power, STCI, and the Student Teacher, along with our other business affiliates and all of the other participants that's on this platform. So today we have a really interesting conversation that we're going to have today from a gentleman who is not only a professional licensed massage therapist, but he also writes poems. And so I would like to bring to the podcast Demond Alvarez. Demond Alvarez is born in the heart of jazz and soul of New Orleans, Louisiana, where he attended Southern University and earned his BA degree in business administration. He is a national licensed massage therapist and a noted author of poetry. His purpose of writing his inspired and uplifting book for those dreamers to give back a voice to the voiceless. His book is called Soul of a Man, Poetry of the Mind, Body, and Soul, and it is considered to be a positive book of quotes and positive affirmations for women of all ages and backgrounds. So with that, I would like to bring Demond to the podcast. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
No problem. This is interesting. Okay, so you have a book on one hand and you have massage on the other hand. So tell us about who Demond is and how did you become a massage therapist? Let's just start with that.
I went to school for business administration. I graduated from Southern University with a BA in that. Then after that, I wanted to go into the medical field, and I kind of had to find my own niche. And my mother was a nurse, my sister was a nurse, and I found massage therapy, which is just another one of those talents that I found that I had, like writing. So it was just something that I said that I was gonna get into, and I followed that path and went down into it.
Okay, so when you first went to go get your business of administration degree, were you pursuing anything in the medical field at the time, or you just kind of wanted to get just a degree that you could use in all different type of industries because you wasn't sure? I'm just trying to, understand how did you go from your BA to health?
Um, I've always been the person to say explore every talent that you have. Don't hold yourself back from anything. So, following that path and following that motto, getting my degree in business, I worked in management, and, it was a great experience. And, I found that really wasn't for me. So I traveled down that path of, massage therapy. And, and with that, it's just, it just grew on me. The more I got into it, as the years went by. Now, I just kind of wanted to, like I said, my sister was a nurse, my mom was a nurse, so I just kind of wanted to follow my own path into the medical field.
Okay. So what are some of the great things that you like about massage therapy in general? Because we don't really hear that much. And one of the things I'm doing in this podcast is really broaden people awareness of the different careers. Because even with my sons coming out of school, they don't talk about massage therapy or some of the other intricate industries that are out there that people can go in. They always gravitate, go get a degree, go get a corporate job and everything will be okay. but I want people to understand from your perspective, what are some of the great things about massage therapy in general that you have experienced, and maybe some of the things that you had to overcome that you could share with people who are listening to your podcast.
Well, going into the field, going into the field of massage, when I first started out, I was, like super super excited, and of course, it's one of those fields that's predominantly dominated by women, and by being a male, and especially a black male going into massage is almost taboo in a sense, so it's almost like I don't know, like having a white person open up a soul food restaurant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I feel
So
you.
yeah,
Okay.
so it's not something. It's not like a traditional thing that you would hear. Uh, like a black male going, like going into. So and with that said, I really wanted to broaden my horizon. I wanted to open people's eyes by by showing them that that a black man is more than just the athlete that you see on TV, or just
Right.
somebody who can like run with football,
Exactly.
in a sense. So and like I said before, I say, explore, explore all of your talents, and don't necessarily hold yourself back. So, and that's and again, that's something that the massage, that's something that I can go more in depth with, as far as getting people healthy, just getting into deeper conversations about the mind, about the body, about the spirit. It's very in depth as far as a career goes, and it's more holistic and medical also.
Okay, fabulous. So one of the things I found interesting that you said was that it was taboo that a black man is doing massage therapy. Do you feel that it's more so in the area in which you live, or do you think this is a global thing where we don't really have a lot of representation for African American men to do traditional massage therapy? I'm just trying to see how broad this issue might be so that we can encourage more people to want to, more men to explore massage therapy the way that you're doing it.
Yeah, I think that I think just across the board, and just in the medical field, because you have more guys, you have more guys getting into it now, than when I was, than initially when I first started out. Just as though you have like more guys getting into the nursing field also. So we can't. I think we can't necessarily have those barriers up. Um, for like for gender, or for or for culture. I think that it's necessary. I think it's necessary for us to say that there is no box. Instead of putting each other like in this box, and saying that oh, you're not supposed to be doing this, or she's not supposed to be doing that. So I think it's just we have to we have to go into these situations, and especially nowadays, we have to go into these situations with more of an open mind, and I do now understand that things take time, the change takes time, I would say, and I think maybe down the line, I guess in the next few years, you'll see it more as something that's more common, to see like more male nurses in hospitals, more male massage therapists, things of just like things of that nature.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with me. I know that that is sort of a touchy topic, but sometimes when I'm doing these type of interviews, it's really interesting to hear different perspectives, especially from those in the medical field or social work field that have a lack in African Americans in those roles. And so, one of the things that I would love to do with this platform is to encourage people to really start thinking about how can they be more proactive in those roles, because there are so many of us out there but so little of that type of industry for us. So that's why I kind of asked you that. So I want to turn the table a little bit to, okay, so you have your BA degree, you're doing your massage thing, and so all of a sudden you had an idea to write a book, a poem. So talk to me about how you came up with the concept and what was that thing that kind of turned on for you to write your book.
Well, I've been writing for, I don't know, since like the I'd say like the late '90s. So I've been writing for a long time now. So it was always the fact that I would write poems, I would share them, I would go to different poetry nights and things of that nature. But people told me for a long time I should write a book, but I guess I don't know. Me not listening, or maybe at that point in time just not having the confidence, to do it. But 2015, a real good friend of mine put their book out first, and I was like, well, and I encouraged them to put their book out, and they encouraged me to put my book out. So it's like the old saying, iron sharpens iron, in a sense. So, and with that said, I started putting all my poems together, and I called, Soul of a Man. I call it like it was my mixtape in a sense. It was like me initially sharing my talents with the world, and poetry is where I started, and I'll always have a deep love for poetry, and I think that poets have a great way of just describing and expressing things, with words, and especially words that rhyme, and that just has that has so much meaning, and that can just touch people on so many different spectrums, and so many different emotional levels, like maybe like an R&B song or jazz, like genres of that nature.
Okay. All right. Do you happen to know one off the top of your head, like a little short one that you can give listeners about one of your poems?
Let's
I
see.
think he dropped the phone, guys. I think he dropped the phone. I asked for a
Okay.
poem and he went bloop.
Okay. Well, okay. I'll give you this one. This one's called "Heart of a Champion." When you're the only person that looks like you on the job, when there's no one to talk to, and you feel society's weight, as soon as you walk into the building, when your skin tone is held against you, when your ancestors are shackled and sold out by people who look like them, when your mind should be broken but you refuse to give up, when you rise like tides of oceans destined for better lands, in hopes to unify with the ones who look like you. This is the truth. This is the heart that beats to its own rhythm. This is the inner beast inside of you, transforming your talents into something greater. Like a beautiful sunset at the end of a long day. This is the heart and the soul of winning. So never give up. And that is the heart of a champion.
Nice, nice. Okay, awesome. I'm gonna give you a hand clap because I really like that one. So I'm glad that you were able to do that because I know I put you on the spot there, but I was just listening to what you were saying and hearing the passing of your voice in terms of, how you can touch people with words. And doing that is just really powerful. That's why music is so powerful when people are singing and they're talking words and singing them is so powerful. And poems are definitely one of those things that is a very powerful avenue to express your feelings and thoughts. And so that's why I wanted to hear one of your poems. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of ladies out there that's like listening to what you just said. So talk about some of the other services that you are interested in helping people about. I know you have some things in your bio that you kind of want to mention. That you want listeners to know more about what Demond Alvarez do.
Yeah, more about me. One thing, as I always call myself a creative writer before I call myself a poet, because like this first book, people were like, "Oh, okay, well, so you write poetry, so oh, you're a poet," and so they want to put me in that box early and fast. So my main thing was to keep writing and to just expand my narrative, so to speak. So after I did the Soul of a Man book, I got together with Tristan Jackson and we co-authored the Bunny Detective series, and that's a children's series. He's
The
a brown
bunny
bunny of
detective.
color. Yeah, he goes around and he helps kids, just different situations, and basically he's like the world's greatest, smartest bunny detective. Like, he can pretty much solve any problem, and he can do anything.
Wow, that sounds fun. That sounds amazing. So, where can they find your books? Are they available on Amazon or on your website?
Yeah, my books are all my books are on my website at www.soulofaman504.com, and also on Amazon.com under Demond Alvarez. And yeah, just put my name in on Amazon and all my books will pop up.
Okay. And are these the only two books that you've written, or do you have more books that you've written?
Yeah, I've written a book entitled "Lyrical Soul," lyrical quotes for her mind, body, and spirit, and that's a short book of quotes and affirmations for just young ladies and women of all different backgrounds and cultures, and I wanted to put something out, because nowadays, people, I think with social media, it's like we have like this people have like these short attention spans. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So I wanted to put something together that was like positive, powerful, and passionate, that can shape and change lives. Something that you can read, but like just like read it and just kind of get it instantly, and like they said, like speaking things into existence is very important, and words are powerful. So in that book, I wanted that to transcend into the mind, and I just wanted the young ladies to just speak it and see it and feel it,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can
Wow.
speak their own dreams into reality.
Awesome. That sounds fabulous. Definitely want to make sure that you give me, a copy of that so I can put that on your page. So as people are listening to this podcast, that they can take advantage and go to Amazon or go to your website and pick up that book because it sounds really interesting. Have you thought about doing the same type of concept for young men as well to give them some empowerment and words of encouragement?
Yeah, yeah, I have, and yeah, the fellas or the gentlemen, they can read the Soul of a Man book, and they can learn different things about culture and heritage, and about just standing up and being a man, and just seeing that somebody else like them goes through things that they go through, growing up in life. So I think that's another thing that the Soul of a Man book entails.
Okay, awesome. So, is there any other announcements that you want people to know about? Any activities or events that you're going to be at where people can meet you in person, maybe pick up a copy of your book?
Um, no, I don't necessarily have anything. I think I'm supposed to be doing something in New Orleans sometime next month or early April, but I'll put that up on the website. And the next kids book, the children's series that I have coming out is Chance You're Begging for Trouble, and that's a story about a kid who gets himself into all kind of little crazy things, and his friends, have to bail him out. And the first book is about bullying. So
Mm.
and that's myself and Derek Williams, we're putting that out, and we really wanted to touch on that topic, because kids, it in a social media age, it just seems um, like the younger people are so much more affected because they are almost like living, like on their phones and on the computer, and it's like peer pressure is now like digital, and it's like how
Oh
do
yeah.
you, yeah, it's like how do you, help to build self esteem and tell them that everything is going to be okay, and so that's one thing that's one major thing that we wanted to tackle, and that's talked about in that children's book.
Yeah, I would love to know more about that book, that is my heart, my soft spot right there. I am so anti-bully. I am so anti-bully. So, first of all, I applaud the fact that you have so many books that's touching men, women, kids. You hitting it all, and you're using your creative words, your power, your wisdom, and your heart to put all this stuff in a book so that people can read it, digest it, understand it, and try to regurgitate something positive out of it, which is why this podcast exists, to talk about what you do and what you write about, because like you said, words is powerful. And we need to understand that there are people out there who are just like us, doing amazing things and doing more positive things. And I really want to thank you for sharing all of that. So we're just about at the end of this segment. So would you like to tell everybody how to contact you? And we already talked about your book, but I want you to give it out again so people can write it down on where they can find your books and how they can contact you.
They can contact me through my website, www.soulofaman504.com. That's www.soulofaman504.com. Also, Twitter, Instagram, Soul of a Man 504, and on Facebook, just put in hashtag Soul of a Man 504, and everything will pop up. Oh, also one last book that's coming out, probably closer around the summertime. That'll be The Secret Church Wives, and that'll be my first co-authored novel. So got a
Nice.
lot of good stuff coming out.
Wow, it sounds amazing. I mean, every time I talk to you,
Yeah,
boom, another book. It's like,
yeah,
wow.
we got.
But that's wonderful. That's fantastic. And again, if for for those who are listening to this podcast, I really want you guys to really like take in the information that you're getting from these people who are doing all these amazing things with their profession and their talents, and see where it fits for you. Also, be sure to reach down at the bottom of this page where you see this podcast and reach out to Demond if you are inquiring about his books, or you would love for him to write you a poem. I'm pretty sure there's a business collaboration there, or maybe you want to have him included in your collaboration for the next book anthology or something like that. So that's what it's all about. So thank you, Demond, for coming on the podcast today and sharing your information with everybody.
No problem, no problem. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.